What's happening, guys? Welcome back to episode 6, picking up from the Nexus. This episode, we're going to be hopping on over to World 2-1, the Smithing Grounds. Now, when it comes to the Smithing Grounds, it's actually a really nice area to hit early, as it does give you a lot of your basic weapon upgrades. Now, for builds that are more specific, such as Crushing, Faith, and Magic weapons, a lot of these upgrade materials are going to be very specifically placed in different zones, right? However, even if you are trying to go those other paths, you do need to get your basic weapon up to +6 for anyone that does not know. Until your weapon is at +6, even with your special blacksmith, you will not be able to make magic or faith weapons. So doing World 2 early will give you a very healthy stock of your regular upgrades to let everyone get their weapons up to +6. Now, if you're trying to go for like a really, really strong bow, which we will be doing for the walkthrough, that actually needs to come to +7. Then we'll be able to make that into a boss version of the bow that's going to deal with a bunch of fire damage. So just, a basic thing to remember, weapons 6, bows 7, and it will not matter which bow you choose. As long as you bring any bow to +7, you will be locked in for that. Now, the other thing is, too, this will be a permanent farm. At any time, as long as we get to World 2-2, we will have a constant and steady farm of basic upgrade mats. And I don't mean just Sharpstone and Hardstone. I mean the large variants will get chunks there. We'll get clear stones. We'll get dragon stones, which are to craft fire weapons. So there's actually quite a bit going on, and, quite a few reasons to do this right now, as far as, being early in the game. Now, there are going to be some pretty resistant enemies you're going to be dealing with here. There's a few options. We picked up the spear last episode. I think I've already deposited this. The spear is going to be really nice because they're weak to pierce. Aside from that, they're also weak to magic or blunt. So if you have like a mace, you have a Morning Star, that would be good. Crescent Falchion is perfect, or the spear would be great. Even though we like the claymore, and we're going to show it off, and it's good for other areas. It's not good for where we're going, guys. So you really want to just target enemies' weaknesses a lot of the times. Now we do want to go ahead and deposit our colorless. Always deposit your upgrades. Like I said, that comes right out of your storage anyways, guys. So there's just no need to have that on you. Then we'll keep this because it has good fire defense. Now, I got this as a chance drop when we farmed the knights for healing items. This shield, as great as it is, it has horrible resistance to fire, and you're going to be dealing with a lot of it here. So if you were able to get the knight shield, I would definitely go with that. You also have your purple flame shield if you have the strength to actually wield that. Let's go deposit our armor, and we should be pretty set up. The only other thing I would recommend is you guys have plenty of arrows, and we'll probably pick up a few more too, because we are going to want to upgrade our bow a little bit more for this boss. It's going to be essential for this fight. But having plenty of ammo here is going to make a lot of tricky situations that much easier. Aside from that, guys, we should be good to go. I do want to fix my durability if we're using this weapon. I guess I'll just use edge sharpening, so I know we'll pick up another to replace that. I don't have the souls to actually, pay for those upgrades. So without anything else, guys, we're going to hop on over to the Smithing Grounds World 2-1. Now, we did a early weapon run. We didn't do much in these worlds when we went, but I did want to get better starting weapons for pretty much every class. So with that being said, we will briefly cover the things that we have done up to this point. So as soon as you get to the Smithing Grounds, if you're tuning in late, you weren't following along, right here is going to be a crystal lizard. Kill him. He can drop sharpstone or hardstone. It's always a chance of either. And then right here, you're going to be able to pick up a soul item. So we've already grabbed that. Behind this wall is actually your special blacksmith. Ed, back at the Nexus, can only do basic upgrades after like +6, +7. Can't go beyond that point. So you're going to need your special blacksmith down here for boss weapons, faith weapons, magic weapons, and just to make your really good stuff and to get to this higher level of upgrades, right? So we will be unlocking him very shortly, just to kind of let you guys know where he's at. You're also going to have the Filthy Man, infinite amounts of hardstone, sharpstone, crescent moon grass, and sharpening stone, for your durability. He has a pickaxe and elixir, which recovers stamina faster temporarily. So a few good things, early on. Next location you see him, he's going to have much better items. Now, we have dealt with this before. Over here on your left, behind a cart, is some white sticky slime. This is a weapon buff for magic, for pure physical builds. So you guys can get magic damage, maybe use it towards a boss that might be weak to magic. But you gotta deal with these guys hooking all these boulders. Now, we've already went through this. We're not gonna go through it again. The best way to do this is to go on up. You're gonna turn this wheel right here on your right. And what's gonna happen is this will free up your lift here. So, to save the time, I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. But if you ride this all the way down to ground level, you get your Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, which is very important for our World Tendency events. Then if you were to ride it all the way up, right here, you'll be able to pick up a soul in your crushing battle axe. Now there is a fat official. These guys, you might, think, damn, I'd just rather run past this guy. He's a headache. We need to kill every single one of these guys for actually a few different reasons. So for one, we need his full armor set to do a hidden trophy quest and get a NPC. We can turn boss souls for powerful spells in the game, right? It's very important. It needs to be covered. Now, you can't farm the armor. Very specific fat officials drop very specific pieces, and not all of them do. Aside from that, eventually, within the walkthrough, we do need to farm him for what's called a gold coin. It's a exceedingly rare drop, but this can be traded with Sparky the Crow for one of your rings you need for your platinum. So if we don't find it naturally through the game, we'll be farming for that very late game. But, it's important to mention. You guys might get lucky, or you might just want to get it over and done with. Then right here will be your crushing battle axe, which crushing is almost like, Faith or Magic. It's a more unique weapon infusion, but it's purely for strength and physical. So what it does is it takes away all dex scaling. Did I pass my cool, that's perfect. It takes away all dex scaling to give you better strength scaling. So instead of having like a quality weapon at DD, it might give you A scaling and strength and take away all other scaling. So it's pretty nice, right? And that comes +1 crushing. So not bad choice early on. A lot of people love that, the crushing battle axe. I don't really care for the battle axe's moveset. I feel like he swings it really low, but it's there. So these are your miners. Like I said, if you're using a weapon like the Claymore or anything that seems like a powerful weapon, typically it ain't going to do shit to these guys. So you want magic or you want pierce, right? That's where the spear may come in handy. Now, besides just targeting their weaknesses, the only other thing to point out with the miners is there are some that are carrying bags. I call them bagmen. Bagmen drop a shit ton of upgrade mats. Like, there's one up ahead that's probably going to drop like 4 sharpstone and 4 heartstone. That's 8 upgrade materials with 1 kill. Now, since you are doing the smithing grounds, you could also farm any one of them just to potentially get upgrades. They could all drop stuff, right? So moving forward, there will be a handful of them up here. Like I said, Crescent Falcon, we're just two-shotting everybody, and it comes up very quickly, so it's not too bad. But straight ahead, you'll see those barrels, and there's a room with the fat official. If he breaks those barrels, like 4 dogs are going to come out. So if they do, just use your shield, let them bounce off of it, and put them down. So there's your bagman, probably get 4 of each there. Yes, we do. So those do seem to be guaranteed. He does not respawn either, so you want to be very thorough and take these guys down every time. There's your doggies. So if they bounce off the shield, you'll hit them with like 1 hit because they're vulnerable. But if you just try to run up on them, it usually will take 2 or 3. Now, this is an instance where we can use the bow to make it easier. Yeah, he can't even hit us. It's perfect. As I said, it's not like you have to have the bow for anything we're doing this episode, at least. You are going to want one for the walkthrough for sure. But it does make life easier. So right here, full moon. You're always going to get healing items from them every time. And right here's a good one. That's your sharpstone chunk and hardstone chunk for those later upgrades. Now, once you have that, try to pull him over. I guess if we just kill him quickly, yeah, he'll take right there. Turn around immediately after you take him out. Okay, sometimes the guy up top comes, sometimes he doesn't. It's always possible. And just to touch on this, because, like I said, if you do a magic build, you have all these ranged abilities. So if you're like strength, dex, quality, or faith, we all want a bow. Now, typically, I've played a lot of Souls-likes. I've never made a bow. And, I've never used a bow. I just dealt with things straight up melee. Now, if there's any other player like that, just know you have to have a bow for this game. I'm telling you right now, you may possibly miss out on a lot of trophies, make things harder on yourself. And they are, even if, like I say, you're not used to using them, get a bow up, guys. I'm telling you, it's going to make life so much easier for us. There's also one trophy in particular you will not be able to get without a bow. And it's actually, once you get the bow we're going for, it's badass. It's going to do fire damage. It's really cool. So, like I said, I only bring this up because I was someone that never used them, didn't care to use them. If I was following a guide and someone's like, oh, get a bow, I'd probably be like, yeah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But, I just want to be adamant. I mean, that's how we took down the dragon, so you guys should already have one either way. Now, when we go out here, you could drop down and do the lower stuff, but we're going to kind of do a loop around in a more specific manner to make life easier. So if you were to go up, you'd be able to follow that over to that gate, right? And that would take you forward, but we need to unlock that. Now from here, I would definitely go to a bow here for sure, because you have him spamming pyromancies. If you cross this bridge, the whole bridge is going to break, and this whole right side beam is going to drop. Now you can go across the beam on the left. You gotta stay lined up. If he's hitting you with spells, it's gonna pop you right off. I would just, use your bow, make life easier. Just gonna go side to side. Staying safe. Oh, actually safe here too. I keep finding all the sweet spots this episode. I love it. Alright, so far left. Just try to line up that beam, guys. There you go. If you notice, the whole right beam just disappeared. So if you chose the right instead of the left, it would have been good. So he's a very specific one we have to take out. There's the official's gloves, so we still need his shirt, his pants, and his hat. So once we take him on now, we're going to drop. You have 2 bagmen down here too. So here's one. Like I said, you can farm the other guy's bagmans. That's one and done. Once you kill them once, they never come back. But look at that. 4 hardstone shards, 1 large hardstone. So a good find. And you just killed another one. So it's really beneficial to do this stuff. Not to mention, if you don't get this lever, you can't progress either way, right? So you got to have it. But point is, don't ever run past the enemy. We're cleared everything in full, getting all of our stuff. And don't worry about the stuff right there. We're going to do a full loop around, then we'll drop down and head out. That way, like I said, we can do it with one run and sure we get every single item from all of your layers. Because there's like 3 layers right here, 3 levels. There we go. Since my ass was broke and I couldn't repair my weapon, I had to use one of our edge sharpening stones, so that will replace it. Thank you. Thank you. Now you notice these guys aren't worth shit. That's because every time you do the first portion of every world, aside from World 4, the enemies just aren't worth anything. The later you get in worlds, that's when you'll get levels. And I say that because you might do this whole area and get like 1 level. You're like, wow, how are we ever going to get our character level up? But that's what I'm saying. You're going to more than make up for it as you progress through the worlds, right? But it does feel that way at first. Like, damn, I'm getting like 4 souls a guy. I've seen some low souls at the start of a Souls-like, but this is low, But yeah, it'll more than make up for it. I don't know why, but I'm doubting myself. We did take that last drop, didn't we? Yeah, because it was right there. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why. I started doubting myself. I'm like, are we sure we got that item? Because there's like I said, there's like 3 levels. So if you roll off the wrong one, you might miss something. You gotta make sure you hit them all. Alright, so after we circle back around, you'll be able to grab your unknown warrior soul, and since you have pulled that lever, you will be able to progress. So, sorry, a little bit of backtracking, but I'd rather be short. Because like I said, it gets a little confusing. You got the top layer, that one, then the lower one, and even one under that as well. So it's really easy to miss stuff. So not to worry, this is not a boss just yet. It's just a fog wall letting you progress. The first thing we're going to do is go over here to the far right-hand side. So Meltstone Shard is what you're going to use to bring your weapon back down to base. And say you found like a faith weapon, you're like, damn, I love this, but I'm doing a strength build. We can bring that all the way back down to base and then change the scaling to whatever you would like. And those little lizards you see there, they're actually a pain in the ass. They do a lot of fire damage. They either will kind of nudge into you or they'll leap at you. And it does a lot of damage. So I like to try to take them down from range. It does help a bit, but sometimes it's just a lot of them, like right here. We can go over here, drop him. This way they don't gang up on us. Yeah. At least he dropped down. I don't think we can kill that one, but we know he's not going to jump over that rail for us. Now, there's a fire sword we're going to get here in a bit. It's actually, it's really good for a long time. It starts to fall off towards the end game. Any fire weapon does because they don't get scaling. Although it would carry you all the way to probably, late, mid, early end game. But you're going to need materials to upgrade them, and that's what's right here, Dragonstone Shard. Now, my notes are on. You can actually farm these guys up for those items. There's other guys you can farm too. So I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure these guys drop them. Like you said, it's like we find one in World 2-2, and a lot of people come for this weapon early. They try to do a quick run, get down to World 2-2 to grab the Dragon Longsword. It's a regular Dragon Sword, regular Longsword with the Dragon Infusion giving it fire damage, so it's even split of physical and fire. And it's really good, and in fact, when you do World 2, you could actually have it fully upgraded pretty damn early in the game. It wouldn't take much to do it, and it would carry you for a long time. 10 strength requirement, every build could use it to carry them until they get a better weapon, and it's probably, one of the things we're going to do with the walkthrough, obviously, right? It helps you focus on levels because you're already getting a bunch of damage and you don't need to worry about scaling for that weapon. Every class can use it. But since it doesn't get scaling after you have it maxed out, there's no way to get more damage. And eventually it's going to get to the point where it does fall off. I think it's more New Game Plus it falls off, but towards the end game it will fall off. But like I said, we could actually craft that before too much longer. And have a really powerful weapon that will carry you guys for a while. Let you work on that health and your damage stat. Plus, the best weapons for all the builds just don't come for a while. So that's, more of what we're trying to use it for. Either way, guys, over here, you're going to see a bunch of lava. And we are going to have to clear that to progress towards the boss. However, first we have some other stuff. So right here is going to be how you progress. Before we go that way, we do have Bagman. And we have Mr. Blacksmith to unlock for you guys. Now, unfortunately, even when we get this Blacksmith, we are not going to be able to make boss weapons until we take out one of the final bosses of World 2. However, we will be able to upgrade special weapons. We will be able to upgrade our weapons more than what Ed can do. So it's really nice to go ahead and get them unlocked. But, you can go ahead and make magic and faith weapons with the guy. You're just not going to have boss weapons or be able to upgrade boss weapons until we take out the Flame Lurker. However, getting access to this guy is going to be very, very beneficial, especially early on. So what we're going to be doing is going just like before, turn your little wheel, get your lift unlocked. It usually takes a few runs because like on your way down right there, you have an item right here to get. You might want to try to get on the way up, but you should be able to just kind of get it all on the way down. Thank you. Now, since you get all the way to the bottom, if you go right outside here, you're going to see a body right here. Get your renowned hero. Then we can go meet your new blacksmith. So this guy's very cranky. He actually reminds a lot of people of the blacksmith in Elden Ring, from what I've heard. I don't know why he's a human, not, a misbegotten, but I guess he does have the same type of face.
What does it matter?
Yeah, he's kind of cranky, but he's really cool because I can go over here. Like Crescent Fountain. If you notice, we can upgrade this. You don't have the materials, but if you went to World 4 and pressed to like 4-2, you can get them. And you guys can get like the +3 Crescent Fountain pretty early. We will set you guys up for that. Aside from that, if you had like the Blessed Mace or a Blessed Weapon, you could do something with that. Then if I wanted, I could bring the Claymore up to +5. Then I could actually make a Faith Claymore for our build or whatever weapon we want. And while that is something we're going to be working towards, so we need 2 more upgrades. Well, that is something we're working towards. We don't have Faint Stones. So until we have Faint Stones, we will not be able to make a Faith weapon. But like I said, we did the first portion of every world. We should be able to make every type of weapon there is at that point. Whether it be one of the 2 magic trees, or we do the Faith weapon, or crushing, or whatever it is. We're going to be able to do a lot of stuff. So like I said, we want to get this on up to +7, right? But you're going to notice that we are 1 large Hearthstone shard short. So when we get that, we'll be able to at least get up to +6. And probably just like right before the boss. And at that point, we're only 1 upgrade away. Because when we get to +7, do not bring it up any further. We'll be able to get the lava bow. If you bring any bow up to +7. But since you go to +8, now you're just on the regular upgrade path. And you have to bring it all the way back down to Meltstone and do it again. So that's our first goal. Bow at +7. Gives us some time to find a weapon we want to go with. And then start, going down that upgrade path. Now, if you notice, we're 1 Hearthstone short to get to +6. And it's like, well, damn, we're going to use all of our upgrade materials just getting a damn bow, or optional weapon or side weapon. And while that may be true, I'm going to go grab some arrows real quick. Well, I talked to you guys. While that may be true, like I said, after we do World 2-1, there's going to be a permanent farm to farm up as much basic upgrades as you want. There's actually a pit filled with lizards, and they just keep coming back and coming back, and you don't really know what you're going to get, depending on which lizards you kill. But, you know, it's either going to be Sharpstone or Hardstone, so you just got to keep running down. We can farm up a bunch of stuff, and, you know, it'll be easy to bring up any weapons from here on out, right? So either way, while we're here, I hate to spin up all my souls, but why not? Make sure we have enough arrows to really hold us, because that gives us 84. Alright, guys, so going on back. Also, remember, you don't have that big run because we have a shortcut. And that's kind of the thing. We just run straight up, get back on our lift, and we'll be able to pick up right where we left off. So +5 is more than plenty for the boss, even +4. So there's a boss we're going to fight, and you really want to fight this guy from range, or it's just going to cause a lot of people a lot of aggravation. He's like shooting webs at you that lock you in place. He's shooting fire at you. And it can be a little rough, but we have a very, very, very good strategy for him. But like I said, it's similar to the dragon. The higher your bow's upgraded, the easier it's going to be. We don't have to go crazy with it. But yeah, we can at least get to +4, +5. And as you see, you know, we're getting them zeros just naturally progressing through here. So it's not, you know, not so bad. Let's go and take him. Now we can go for a fog. Now, as soon as you go up here, hold your shield out. You see that? He just kind of lie in wait. Thank you. Any drops? No? Good. Thank you. There it is. So that would be a +6 bow. And so we might go back to get another upgrade before the boss, or I might just kind of remind you guys too, because if everything is like super smooth, we can just get in one run. That's probably what I'll try to do. Alright, so first things first, guys. As soon as we get here, what we're going to want to do is run around the corner to the left for this lizard. I almost forgot to put it off, but if you don't get him first, he is going to disappear. Yeah, this sucks. We might have to get ourselves killed and run back through, because if he times out, we're going to miss him. And these guys are obviously going to kill us. There we go. That was close. Now, the upgrade mats aren't going to disappear, so we're fine. But all we're really trying to do is just run over here. Run over there, rather, to the left. Get your lizard. Then we're going to go to the bottom path. Now, when you get to this plank, you need to run. I've heard some people say you could walk across. I wouldn't risk it after all that, you know, because you have to go through the whole thing again. But either way, with that, you'll be able to get your great club, which is going to make arguably the best boss weapon in the game. Definitely top 3, in my opinion. A lot of people call it the best weapon. It's really big, slow, and sluggish for me. But, you know, I will tell you, a lot of people love it. And we'll cover it when we actually are able to, you know, to do that. Alright, so once you grab that will drop you back down, so you will have to do the run through again. And so don't worry about the lizard. As long as you killed him, the upgrade mats, they don't disappear. Just the lizard, right? As he's kind of on a timer. Now, we do have to take all those guys out you just saw, but it's actually going to be pretty easy because there's a sneaky little path that lets us pretty much just drop right behind them all. So now when you get back to the door, what we're going to do is just go to the right. You're going to see the barrel, break on through. I actually missed that my first, I think even 2 playthroughs. Definitely missed it for a bit. Found it when I was taking notes. I was like, damn, I don't remember this. I think I just found it now, you know, when I was taking notes for the series. Out of all the playthroughs of Demon Souls I've had. Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. But it blends in very well. Alright, so drop on down. Get your shield. Get your soul. And like I said, we're pretty much just behind all these assholes. Thank you. Thank you. Now we can go ahead and get our upgrade mats. And get back on track. just double checking we have drops. So moving up here is kind of a pain in the ass. You have a lot of these guys, but you're also going to have some dogs too. And they all just really pile up. The big thing is just knock them off the wall. As many as you can get. That way they're not... Oh shit. What are we doing here? Oh, that was a waste. Yeah, that way we're not getting dropped on. Thank you. Alright, so once we get up top, we're just going to kind of circle around here. The dogs should be coming for you any second. Easy coming right up here. Oh yeah, we never hit this side. Alright. Either way, that does a full circle. Should have all of them. Usually the dogs are on our ass by now, so they're a little bit behind it, you know, it seems. They're coming, don't you worry. There they are. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. You guys are always coming up. Thank you. Edge sharpening. Alright, now we're caught up, so we're just gonna go behind. I was like, I don't remember there just being 2. It usually feels like there's like fucking 4. But like I said, their placement is, for whatever reason, a little bit different this time we're going through. So just be cautious. There's definitely a handful of them. Half moon, back over 50. Nice, nice. So I said, if you get up to 50, then the ones you just find when you naturally progress, you should have more than enough healing. You know, you're always kind of picking it up. Thank you. Hold up your shield. That one will pretty much always get to you before you can get to him. Unknown hero. Backstab. Nice juicy backstab. Alrighty. Now we're pretty much at the end. So that was a bagman. Got a really nice drop there. Unfortunately, nothing we really care about right now, but still, you know, it's stuff. So once you pull that, that will get rid of the lava and allow us to take the last path. Alright, so from there, we're just going to simply drop on down. That's going to put you all the way back at the bottom again. So that's the stairs you originally took up, right? So we still have to stay up top, but just to show that off. Well, not stairs so much as a ramp. Y'all know what I mean. Alright, so now what we're going to be doing is going over here to the right-hand side. Okay, so the lava's gone, so you could access your rings, your items. So large sharpstone, half moon grass, poison resistance rings, which we are going to want that for upcoming zone. Be really nice to have. You're about to use a bow to take out your next fat official. So he's going to be tucked into this room ahead, and he's got a bunch of explosive barrels. He's trying to throw his pyromancies out, utterly fucking destroy you. So while you could go in there and just hide behind the poles and just whack him here and there and keep moving around, it's a huge pain in the ass. So what I would suggest doing is just sitting back. Now his hits are really going to hit the barrel for the most part. You might still have to move around. Like once he's exploded all those barrels, you're going to have to move around or you're going to get popped. But it's really not that bad. So there you go. There's your second piece of the official set. It's weird too because you get most of it like super early than the last item, which is going to be the hat. That's, you know, the one it takes a bit to get. So either way, as we move forward, you're going to start seeing all these cobwebs and bodies stuck to the wall. This is from the boss, which is going to be the armored spider. And that's where we're heading now. So that guy was sitting up top on a ledge you could hardly see. He's throwing that boulder. So do not run forward here. There's a reason we're taking our time, you know, kind of biding our time there. Just walk slowly so the boulder doesn't hit you and, you know, you have him jumping down to finish you off. Now, as you work your way forward, right over there is going to be a lift that's going to take us to the boss. But there is an item here that's really, actually, there's a few items, but there's one that really stands out for magic builds. This is going to be a short sword. It's really cool. Almost looks like a lightning bolt. But actually, Actually, if you ever seen the show The Flash, it looks like the cicada's dagger. Check it out. It kind of has that look to it. Isn't that cool? But, physical magic, it's a special weapon, so it has to get upgraded with colorless demon souls. Then on top of that, what's really good, I mean, it's essential for any magic build, whether you're doing magic damage with the sword or spells, because if you keep it in your offhand, it boosts magic damage, wherever that magic damage may be coming from. So it's really, really, really nice. I kind of wonder if it'd work for a faith build, because since they didn't use holy, faith and magic builds both do magic damage as far as their weapons, so I wonder if that would boost that damage too. Sometimes you just gotta kind of get creative and look into stuff. So from this point forward, we're going to go down to the boss. You guys know where it's at. Runback's not that far. If you want to go buy some arrows, if you want to go upgrade your bow, now's the time. There's a reason why, I told you to get the arrows when we did. It's easier just to do this in one, quick run through. Knock everything out as we go. It's going to make life so much fucking easier, right? However, with that being said, if you guys didn't get the stuff you needed, you can go back now. All you're going to do is ride the lift up. Then as you run through, follow it to the left, and that will be that lava pit, and run straight through. It's not a bad run, so I'll leave that up to you guys. Either way, guys, Armored Spider. This is a very difficult fight to fight up close. He has these really two big claws, and what he'll do is kind of cross his arms and do a back cross swipe, and it'll break your guard every single time, so it does make it difficult to get off damage. His big weakness is going to be magic, so Crescent Falchion could work. If you run out of arrows, it's not so bad to finish him off, but playing this from range is going to be much easier. So he has one homed fireball, meaning it's, single fireball is going to target you quite well. It's very big, does a lot of damage. That's a big problem. Just try to, roll to the side. If he shoots a spread shot of 3 fireballs, he'll actually do it 3 times. So it's going to be 3, 3, 3. But it's more mid-range, right? And then the big thing is anytime you see his body go up, he's going to be shooting webs at you. These webs will lock you in place and can cause you some real grief. So if you have a shield with better fire resistance, I'd put it on. Like this one has 70 fire damage negation while ours had 10, right? So this is not the shield for the fight. If you got to use it, use it. Even this one has 70. And I guess we could use this one too. I mean, it's really up to you guys. How heavy is that? It's a nice, great shield for this fight. Yeah, we can pull it off. But essentially, is if you stay far back, all the way to the left, all the way to the right, most of his things will hit you. You can just sit there and fire arrows at him. And even if you have to get closer, we're still going to fire arrows. We might just have to dodge. Or what you really could do is you're going here with the bow, right? And you have the 2-hand. However, if you're about to hit it with the fireball, just tap triangle and get your shield. Tap it again, you're 2-handing. So triangle, block, triangle, shoot. And that's how you'll be able to play it. But like I said, the webs is the biggest thing. When his head disappears, the webs are coming. Now, I think it's right here. Yeah, there should be like a little sweet spot where you just literally sit here. He can still hit you. But it should keep you somewhat protected. So you went up there. You got one web, so 2, 3. You see what I'm saying? There's a more mid-range. Remember, he disappears. You know what he's gonna do. Then if we don't zoom in, I dove right into it, isn't that great? If we don't zoom in, we could actually just stay locked on. I think that's probably the easier way to do it. Yeah, it's really hard to get away from it. Just take it easy, don't panic and just keep shooting. Make sure you actually draw back all the way. That way, you're really getting damage. If you just do quick shots, that could be a problem. Also, if you fight him up close with melee, the other thing, remember, his head goes up, you dodge. Every time. Head goes up, you dodge. But the other thing, if you fight him melee, he can actually up. He caught us, didn't he? There we go. So, triangle, shield, lock. So if you fight him melee, he can actually fill the ground up with like oil. Yeah, we got it. And he's gonna light the whole arena on fire. That's what I was trying to say. You and your damn webs, bro. There you go. It's very simple. So, like I said, when you first came in, I didn't show this because it's just cheesy, I firmly believe this is just a phenomenal strategy. And like I said, the walkthrough, I have very solid strategies to make life easier. However, when it gets cheesy, where it's just like we're cheesing about, I don't like that. I'd rather just show you guys how to get better at the game and how to figure these things out. Not really cheat, but technically you could stand over here to the left or the right. I think it's the body and the left, or just far back. As long as you're tucked to the far side, he can't really hit you, and you just zoom in and shoot arrows at him the whole time. So I think this is the sweet spot right here, though. And then you can just kind of shoot him, tuck back. He can't ever hit you. So like I said, I think it's cheesy, which I consider not really cheating, but kind of cheap. So I figured we'd show you the right way. But if you're really struggling, you're like, damn, I just want to get past this fucking guy. There you go. Like I said, we'll cover all information. Even if it's something I wouldn't typically do or typically recommend, I'll still cover it. Obviously, it's going to help people get past if they, if they're desperate to do so. Either way, guys, once we do have him taken on out, same drill. We got to get back in soul form. We got to go ahead and get a level if we could even pull that off anymore, and just kind of get set up for what we're doing next. Alright, so right here, you're going to get your Armored Spider Soul. Hard Demon Soul, same shit. Then you'll actually see like a Crystal Lizard. Now remember, we're in human form, so we could actually get invaded. Then you fucked up World Tendency, right? We don't want this. Even though it's right there, it'd probably take you 5 seconds. I mean, who knows? It just depends, because invasions go off of like character level and tries to pair characters that are around the same level. It just, it all depends. But I don't think it's worth the risk for obvious reasons. So we're popping everything besides the Hard Demon Soul. The Hard Demon Soul is the soul we need for our bow that we're making. So make sure you guys go ahead and put this in storage, right? We don't want to fuck with that. We'll keep 3 on hand. And then looking at our stone ephemeral eyes, we're at 7, not bad. Oh, we're putting all this shit up, guys. We don't need to keep it on us, like I said before. Go to your blacksmith, always pulls from your inventory. Put that up, that up, that up. When it gets to a point where we could actually show you guys different like boss weapons and stuff, I'll just put it all in my inventory and we'll go talk to the blacksmith. So 2 pieces to your Fat Official set, 12,000. Probably 1 level, almost 2, but not quite. Remember, she always moves around. Like, she could even be up, like, on this beam or up top, or, she's a bunch of places.
Then touch the soul of the mind, key to life's ether.
1 level, gotta love it. Alright.
Art thou finished?
It's 1 level, I guess. So, before we close on out, I do want to make sure, for one, we better get our ass in soul form. But I really do want to make sure that you guys see a farm I'm going to show you. So we're going to do a special episode here in a little bit. We can't do it yet because I don't have access to all of the farms for upgrade mats. But once we're pushed through the worlds enough where I could show every single build how to actually go through and farm for upgrade materials, we're going to do a short episode. I'm going to show you guys. It's just going to be all farms. It's going to be a soul farm. It's going to be how to farm up upgrade mats. And we'll cover the the healing farms and just put it all in one rather short episode. But it's going to help people out, so you guys will have the freedom to make any weapon you want at any time, right? However, we do need to open up all the worlds a bit. So that's World 1 opened up a bit, World 2 opened up a bit. So next will be World 3, which I intended on putting on. We're actually going to do the walkthrough where we just fully wrapped up a World 2. So we had like boss weapons and stuff like that. But everybody wouldn't be able to get their upgrades, so we're going to knock out all the worlds first, then wrap that up. But I was going to put off World 3 for a little bit because it is rather tough, rather annoying. However, we do have stuff that'll help, so it won't be so bad. How short are we right now, guys? 1,500 short. How long have we been going for? 40 minutes. It's a little bit over this episode. I might just go ahead and farm up the rest of our souls to grab this level instead of putting us at risk. So Island's Edge, I told you guys before, undoubtedly the best area you have right now for souls. And even though I don't farm for levels, I'll go ahead and grab the last few we're short, just so no one's getting put at risk. As always, hold up that shield. Parries work beautifully if you keep them off. I think even if you're not the best at parries, these guys aren't, they're just not bad to parry. Deep ring, we don't need to kill but a few of them. Like I said, this is just more me trying to be safe. It just doesn't take any time. parry them, you gotta walk up on them a bit, guys. Gotta walk up on them a bit. Otherwise, you won't be doing a critical attack. You'll be doing more of just a regular attack. So we should have like just enough with one run here. Could be a little short, maybe not. Thank you. Come on, get over here, roly-poly. That dumbass is stuck. Thank you. So, we do have enough. Like I said, just take us a second. We go up, kill all the guys in the starting area. Finishes us off getting a level, right? That way we're not putting anyone at risk. Because I'm going to close out showing you this farm. That's why I said, hey, in a few episodes, I'm going to show you how to farm up all your upgrade stuff. But we're still going to show off one very briefly here. Because it doesn't matter if you're doing magic or faith or crushing or any of that stuff if you can't get your basic weapons up to +6 first, right? So we're going to just show a farm for basic upgrade mats so you guys can start working towards that at the very least. 15 faith, not looking bad. Since we actually get to 16 faith, we get a second miracle slot as well. And just a reminder, you know, these guys here, he does have basic miracles, but once we get to a really good soul farm, we're just going to farm up those souls to actually come over here and buy all this stuff, right? Because they're expensive, 3,000, 20,000, 3,000, so there's a farm that'll help us pay for those, so we don't have to pay for it and, you know, keep us low level. But either way, guys, before we wrap on up, we're going to be jumping on over to World 2-2. That way we can cover a very good farm. So for one, try to get Mr. Lizard. It can be a bit of a risk. Because these guys now, they are higher level, right? And you, please guys, be in soul form here. You're going to screw yourself out of some really good items with our tendency events. There are some very rewarding items from tendency events here. Really good, you know, really good items. So we don't want to, you know, play with that. But, you know, if we're careful, our tendency's right, I mean, we're in soul form, we can go over through and get some really good stuff. So these carts, we want to go to the tunnel on the left, not the tunnel on the right. But these carts are going to explode, their proximity, so just run. All you got to do is run, you're safe. Slow down, you get caught. Now, get your stamina back because we are going to have a fat official. So this fat official is going to drop our next guaranteed piece to the armor set. But maybe we might get lucky and get the gold coin, you know, for Sparky, for that ring. Maybe we're lucky and we get the Crescent Halberd, because he also has our Crescent Axe. He has a really good axe. It's not Crescent in the way that magic is. It's just what it's called. It doesn't actually do magic damage, unfortunately. And we'll always get healing items too. So there you go. Official's closed. So now you're almost got all that armor set. So once you have him taken down, I'm not worried about any of the other items. Obviously, we got the guaranteed drop from his armor because we had to take him out anyways. He's right here. But, you know, we're not doing this area yet. I want to make sure our notes line up. So I'll put, you know, a little side note that we were to grab that. But I'm not going to pick anything else up. He'll throw me off. You guys can. So there's going to be 2 invaders here. It's scripted. I wouldn't worry too much about it. You know, it's meant to happen. And there's also 2 crystal lizards we can get. Now, these guys, I think, these 2 don't respawn infinitely. Now, I told you guys, usually you'll be able to kill them once, and then after the boss, you can kill them again, right? So since we took out 1 boss, these first 2, they might come back 1 or 2 more times, but that is it. However, after we kill these invaders, there's a pit beyond with like 20 fucking crystal lizards, and they keep coming back over and over. They're infinitely. Now, when we get bigger AoE spells, it's going to be better to deal with them, but you could kind of corner a few and get probably, I think I got 5 in one run. But typically, you could at least get like 2 a run. And that might give you a bunch of materials. Then, like I said, you can do as much as you want. So both of them are going to be using the steel shield. And both of them are going to drop their club as well. But the same club we just got. If you notice, they have the weapon and the shield we just picked up in 2-1. So it's stuff you already have, but, you know, they got to go. Now, luckily, they're only AI generated, right? So they're story scripted. They're not real players. So don't get cocky like, oh, I beat 2 players at once. You really did. You know? You really did. I mean, sure, you can tell your friends that. I'm not saying it's not possible, but yeah, these guys are not smart enough to give a challenge, in my opinion. They might catch us. I mean, I've already killed one in a 2-on-1 fight, and we haven't taken any damage yet. And he's bleeding, too. Not saying I won't take any damage, but I haven't yet. Yeah, so he can tank through. I think if they're two-handing, they can pretty much tank through your attacks. Good news is, guys, they're not going to respawn. See, that blood loss gets them. I swear, blood loss will kill people. I've been telling you guys that, but it hadn't happened yet. I did tell y'all, too, that it's just very lackluster at Demon Souls. I was not kidding. It is extra damage, though, at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It is extra damage. It's just not spectacular. Alright, so we got 2 Stones of Ephemeral Eyes, Dragonstone Trunk times 3, so pretty good, you know, pretty good to take them out. It's crazy, too. Some of our episodes are like 20 minutes, some are like an hour. Just how this game is, you know. It's not going to be consistent with our runtime. Alright, so when you get here, don't chase him down. Get around him so you push him back towards the tunnel. Because if he goes into the pit, you're going to miss him. You'll drop all the way down there and probably just get 1. But if you come down here and you get him every time, you're guaranteed to at least get 2 lizards. Now, I would look at whatever ones you can corner. So, like, if we roll off, you see how these 2 are kind of together? Yeah, the other one we missed. It's okay. We at least got 2. Actually, we got 4 because of 2 up top. But right there. So we picked up a few large hardstone shards. But as you, like I said, these guys will keep coming back over and over and over. You know, it's infinite. So you can really stock up on basic upgrade materials, which obviously is going to be very important. Then if you guys don't really feel like doing this, once we make our way through World 4-1 and we get to 4-2, we get pretty much the best farm of the game, where you can farm up like 4,000 souls every 20 seconds. And then we can just like farm up like, you know, 20,000. It'll take you like 3 minutes, and we can go to the Filthy Man in World 2-1, that merchant, and just buy all the upgrades you want, you know, as far as it's just being hardstone and sharpstone shards, because it's infinite amount. So that will probably be easier, but until then, this is here, right? So if you guys remember from the lift, you came through the tunnel, so that's all you would do. There's also a spell called Evacuate, which will let you do this, and you can just hop out and run back through, save you a little bit of time, but we don't have it yet. But yeah, it's really not that bad. You just do this as much as you want. The Fat Official does respawn, so, you know, try to remember that. But your spot's right here, guys. So it does set you up quite nicely. So either way, guys, from here, we are all set. So what we're going to be doing next is, like I said, just going to knock out all of the first portions of every single world. So, you know, we've done World 1, World 2, next episode will be 3, 4, 5, and we'll pretty much just wrap up World 2 and get you guys set on some really nice upgrade paths. But either way, with that, we're going to wrap up, so y'all stay tuned, and we'll catch you back here shortly.